So this cover's had about 20 minutes just to dry, and sorry, I've just dropped my paintbrush. There we go. Right, okay, so yes, this cover's had a good 20 minutes to dry. So I can take these clips off now, okay. And I'd like to start working on the design for the front because I'm going to be using quite heavy embellishments on the front. So I want this to dry whilst we crack on with the signatures. So as I said before, I've chosen this image here. Actually, if I open this up, and then I've got a flat surface, haven't I? Come on, Lisa, use your brain. Right, so if that's going to go, that's the image I've chosen. All right. I had a bit of a look through what I've got in my stash, and I found this wooden cog from one of my PowerTech sets. It's an MDF wooden cog, and you can find it on powertex.co.uk. And they come in sets. I'm unsure of the price at the moment, but I can put it in the description box below for you. And then these cogs here, these metal ones, I've got lots, and I just get these on Amazon, and I actually got a bag from the Wish app, but they took about 6 months to come. But I do get them. When I'm near the end of my stash, I order some more, and I just do a bit of a search and see what comes up. And then, I don't know if you can see, in the centre there, I've got a little screw. And I had that in my drawer, and I just took the back off. So I just took it down with a pair of jewellery pliers and then just stuck it in there. So that's going to go, can you see that? That's going to go on his front wheel there. Okay. I've then been having a bit of a play. An earring that I was given that really tones in with these colours. I'm going to pop through there, stick that in. And then I've got some more here, which I want to use. I thought those there would look pretty nice. And then that one could go there. And then I've got these Tim Holtz dyes. Now, I'm not sure if I spoke to you about this before. I think I did. So it's a set that you get like this. Sorry, that light's dreadful. And you just run that through your big shot. And you can take all the centres out. And I was thinking about popping that there, and then maybe another wooden cog on here. Now I can ink this up to give it a bit more definition. I don't know. I've got quite a few little embellishments. Okay, so I'm going to do that to start, I think, and then as we go on with these videos, I might be adding more to this. So the first job I'm going to do is just ink up the sides of this image. Now I'm using my Tim Holtz Distress vintage photo, which I think probably every crafter on this planet has. Just adds really cool definition, doesn't it, to the pieces. And whilst I've got it out, I'll just do this little piece here. Scrap. There you go. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And by doing this you can add more for if you wanted it a deeper tone, or you could add, you know, not add so much if you just wanted less colour. I'm sure that'll change a little bit as well once it soaks in and dries. So I'll just move that out of the way, otherwise I cover myself in ink. Okay, my sewing's pretty rubbish. Never been a sewer. Just ask my home ec teacher at school. It's rubbish then, and I'm rubbish now. So I'll just put a little bit of glue just under there. Okay. I am going to tape this up. I'm going to use glue as well, but I just want to put some tape on this bit. And then the next job is just to attach this little earring. Now I've taken the back off again with my jewellery cutters. And I wanted it to go through that element there. So I'm going to pop some glue just on there. Put that through. I made a hole just before I switched the camera on, just so that it went through easily. And then just a little bit of sellotape actually, just to stick that securely on the back, like so. And then that glue will dry over time. Oh, that's so pretty, and it adds just a little bit of sparkle as well. Lovely. Right. Put just some wet glue down as well. Okay. Take my backing off. No, that one doesn't want to play. Never does when you're on camera, does it? There we go. Right, so those are off. And I'm going to just flip this and put it where I want it to go. So it's straight on that edge. It seems to be. Is it straight? I need to move it just a squidge. Just a squidge. It has to be, otherwise every time I look at it I'm going to think that's not straight. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Can't have more than one thought in my head at any one time. Unfortunately, I'm not like most women. I can't do two things at once. Okay, so just stick that down. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Right, okay. We have a gap here where the sewing machine didn't want to work. And I'm fine with that. I'm not happy with that, but I'm fine with that because I know my sewing skills aren't very good. So I would imagine that yours will be better. Now I'm going to probably take the eye away just by putting that there and, you know, just working with my issues. It's not a mistake, it's just my incompetence. So what I'd really like this set of videos to be like, if you can leave a comment underneath, but if you do have a go at these, leave a photograph of your make. That would be wonderful. I'd love to see what everybody does. We all get ideas off other people, and just because I'm doing this video, it doesn't mean that it's any better than yours, and I'm sure it's not. So that's going on there. Again, just with a bit of wet glue. Okay. And then we're going to come over to this side and just pop a bit of glue down on there. This does dry clear, so I'm not worried about that. One thing I did do when I just had a look at this to see if it would work is just to see if my clips were big enough to hold those down. So they dried, because otherwise I'd get into a bit of a pickle with those. They'd keep sliding off. Okay, this is going to be a bit interesting to stick down. So I am going to just put that up there over the main page and then just up to that sewing, so the eye is drawn away from my rubbish sewing job. Now I always have a bit of just a rag with me just to take off excess glue, and it helps smidge it up. So just do that. I don't like using baby wipes, so I wouldn't use a baby wipe, but just, as I said, it does dry clear, so that's fine. And then I'm gonna pop this one up there. Yeah, you wouldn't know that I've messed up that sewing really. Well, maybe you would. Maybe you would. Right. Get my clip. Oh, that's not going to work, is it? I need to get a bigger one than that. Sorry. So this is just a regular clothes peg, but it's just that little bit longer. Okay, so that is my front cover for now. I'm sure as time goes on, and I'm sure as I find more things, bits and pieces and bits from the paper stash that I want to use, I'm sure I will add more to that. But for now, I'm just going to put that to one side to dry because of all these wooden and metal embellishments. I don't want it to slide around too much, so let's just put that on the side, out of the way, to dry. Right, let's crack on with our signatures. Now the signatures depend on really what you want your journal to be for. Do you want it for note taking? Do you want it for putting photographs in? Do you want it for general bits and pieces? What do you want your journal to be for? Because depending on that, depends on what papers you use. Now, I've put together two already, off camera, just to speed things up a little bit. I will do the third one on camera with you. But what I've done is they're both the same. So they've got some tea dyed in there. They've got some Tim Holtz in there. They've got a piece of this rust metal paper in there. And then they've got my file folder. And then I was going to cut some of this Steampunk from Stamperia to go on the inside. Okay. So both of those are exactly the same. I'm going to do the third one the same again. So what I do is I start with the outer cover. And as I said, this is a file folder that I cut the top off and then I fold it in so that it's the same size as a piece of this. Okay, so that's my outer cover. I'm then going to have 1, 2, and I'm going to have 3 tea dyed straight away. I'm then going to cut a piece of this, so I'll do that on camera with you guys. So this paper here is from a collection, and I've written it down. She says, I've lost my notes now. Right, so it's from a collection. It's called Metal Textures by Craft Consortium. And the book is beautiful. It's all these tones and different patterns. It's just lovely. It's just absolutely lovely. I love it. So I'm going to use, I've used a piece of this for every single signature. So they measure 11.5. So take ½ an inch off that way, and they measure, let's just do it on here, just over 8. Okay. So again, my trusted matte and metal ruler. As I said, these are great because you can just line it up, can't you? Makes life so much easier. Line up with that one. And then we need to get it 8 long. Just over 8, wasn't it? I'm going to do 8. I'm going to do it 8. Make that decision. There we go. Right. Don't throw away your scraps. That piece, perhaps throw that away. Can't believe I've just said that, but don't throw the other piece. Actually, I'll leave that board out because I'm going to need to cut my Tim Holtz in a second. So we're just going to fold this in half, like that. And fold up. Those. What have I done in this one? Another one, and then my Tim Holtz. So another tea dyed. Gosh, that's really dyed, isn't it? But I like the fact on that one it's ripped and torn at the top. I like that. So with this one, what I was doing is I was literally just cutting off the top, the last few of those. So 2, 4, 6, yeah, so number 3. So just cutting off this bit here. And then the bottom of these papers, I've got a little project in mind for those already to go into this album and to go into this junk journal. So whatever you do, don't throw them away. So even if it's not steampunk based, if you are following this journal, following this make, and you'd like to attach your photos, that would be amazing. That would be really, really good. So what I did with this now is I just folded in, see this mark here? I just folded that in. Now, under here I do have my scoreboard. So what I'm going to do, so that it's a neat fold, I'm going to just score 1 inch there and 1 inch there, so 1 inch either side. Okay, and then we can fold these in like so. Okay, so that's another piece for our signature. So that goes in there. And then what comes next? A couple more tea dyes. Right, because that one's quite strong, I think I'm going to go for that one because it's a bit paler, and that one because it's a bit paler. So let's count these up. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the centre is going to be a piece from the Stamperia collection. Love these. There is no way I'm cutting these up, you know, and using the elements on there because they're just too beautiful. So I think I'm going to use them as is. So I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to cut them at 8 again. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to cut it at the 11. Okay, I'm standing up now, so I'm really sorry if you've got my knee in shot. Do it this way because I know you lot were just shouting at the camera, weren't you? It's very different. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can't think today. It's really, really hot. So that's for one journal. One journal, one signature, sorry. And I know I'm going to get, you know, cut off. Or do I? Actually, right, let's do it this way instead. Change my mind. Changed my mind. That's what happens when you do. When you craft, isn't it? You always change your mind, or you think of things. Because now I've done that, I can use that time machine as well. Right. So let's put that at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're still going to the 3. Of course we are, Lisa. will cut. It will. 5 times lucky. Right, there we go. So there's that one. Let's have a look at the next one that I want to use. Again, you know, I think I might cut the top off that. Let's cut the top off. Because I think I can use that. This is where I cut my finger off on camera. Okay. So I've got my scraps there that I will be using as embellishments in my signatures on my pages. So let's get these folded. So when you're crafting and you are watching all these YouTube videos and things, you think, oh gosh, wish I had that, wish I had that. They've got all this stuff. You use what you have around, and I mean, I did buy these papers fresh off, off Amazon. They are brand new. So I can hardly really call this a junk journal because I'm not using junk, I'm using brand new product. However, you can use anything you have. You don't have to have a bone folder. You can use a ruler. You can use a blunt butter knife if you don't have a bone folder. There are a few things that I think that are worth the investment. Good glue. Now this is $2.99 I think in the range. But it doesn't matter which one I use, but find yourself a good glue. Maybe a craft knife if you don't have a good pair of scissors, or alternatively a good pair of scissors and a good eye. And as I said, it's making do with what you have. Sometimes you can watch these videos on YouTube and you can get kind of bombarded with everything that people have, and you can get quite sad and you think, oh gosh, I wish I had that, I wish I had that. But you can make some wonderful things without having an awful lot. That's what makes crafting, especially paper craft and things like this, so good. And that's why I got into power text to start with, because you recycle. Everything you do with power texting is recycling. Recycled fabrics and embellishments and stuff, and that's why I love that so much. So I have a piece of this Stamperia paper sticking out. Do I fold it to make another tuck spot? Yes, I do. I think that's a wonderful idea, because then I'm not wasting any. So back out with my scoreboard. Now this is a Stampin' Up scoreboard. I've had this for years and years and years. Again, it's one of those tools which it's lovely if you've got it, but if you haven't, it really doesn't matter. Just use what you have. Just use a ruler and fold your pages up against that ruler. It honestly, it really doesn't matter. I have this tool, so I'm going to use it. But okay, so that's for the centre of this book here. Just make sure I have that the right way around, and I don't. So is that the right way around? Yeah, because the text on this Tim Holtz one is the right way, and then the text on that one is the right way. Loving that. Okay, so that's the first one. Just do the second one. So I used to do Stamping Up with some friends, and ended up getting lots and lots of the kit, as you do. And it's such good quality that it's worth every penny, and then you just, if you look after it, it lasts for a lifetime. Okay, so that's that one. And then on to the last one. So we're going to finish these. We're going to attach these to the actual cover. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then that's a wrap for today. And then in the next video, we shall start putting wonderful things in our pages. Okay, and start adding embellishments and making nice pull-outs and tuck spots and things for our pages. I just want to show you this quickly. So I made this little book just out of some old card, and I took this image from the Stamperia paper, and then I've just made a little book. Now this inside is the scraps that we've just cut from the page for our signature. So I've used it there, and then just made just a cute little notebook ready for one of the pages, because I thought this would go really nicely somewhere here or on here. So we're going to do that in the next video. I'm going to show you how to do that. So I've got my 3 signatures there. Okay, we're now going to attach this to our cover. So I'll bring that cover back in, and I'm just hoping that it's dry. So remove my... I think it's dry enough for me to work with. These certainly are, it's just this metal on metal. Okay, I think it's dry enough to work with. If not, it's going to fall off. No dramas, I'll just pop it back on. Okay, so as I said to you before, this is going to be a no-sew journal. Okay, and I've chosen this green ribbon to go round. So what you do is you need to measure, you have a little tail, and then you have to measure the length of the spine and then times that by 2. So for example, I have 3 signatures, so I need to measure 3 lengths, 1, 2, 3, and then times that by 2. 4, 5, 6. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's get away all my stuff from the desk so that you can see. I'm going to hold it like that, and we're going to go round. So we're going to go once, we're going to go twice, we're going to go 3. Doesn't that look beautiful? The inside of there. Love it. Right, so that's our 3rd. Okay, we know, because we've just seen how many we've got on the inside, so we know that that's correct. We're then going to pass this long one underneath these 2 here. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're going to do it that way first. So we're just going to cross them over. Okay. We're then going to pass this long one back over, or sorry, back under, because it's my longer tail. And then we're just going to tie it in a knot, like that. Okay. Let's pop these equally spaced. Now, because I've got we made the bind, sorry, the spine. We reinforced it, didn't we, with that extra piece of cardboard. Now, I don't know if I told you, that extra piece there measured 1 centimetre long and obviously the 2 wide, so that it was just a little bit of help reinforcing that spine. Cut my tails to the same length either side, and I might, I don't know yet, I might put a bit of glue or tape. Yeah, let's do that, just to hold them down. So turn it over and you can see you've got our 3 inserts there. They're nicely spaced. 3 inserts, sorry, 3 ribbons there for each signature. Nicely spaced. And then all I'm going to do, just because I don't like the way that I've never done ribbon before, and it's really, really pretty, but I'm not sure I like the way it kind of does that. So I'm just going to pop a tiny little bit of glue just there. Wipe off my excess glue so it doesn't congeal. Whoops. Just, that's it. That's it. There we go. That looks really neat now, doesn't it? It looks really pretty. Right. That will dry clear. Okay, so we're going to pop our signatures in now. So before we stick them in, I just want to ink the edges up of this main cover, of this front cover. Once they're in, they are more difficult to ink up. So I'm really quickly just going around the edge here.